Every minute, the world releases over 8 million pounds of plastic into the ocean. That's the weight of 1,200 elephants, and it's happening every single minute. Our planet is suffocating under a mountain of waste, but there's hope. You don't need to be a climate expert to make a difference. Simple changes in your daily life can cut your carbon footprint faster than you think. In this video, we'll show you how small tweaks at home, in your eating habits, and even in your wardrobe can shrink your environmental impact. From reducing the energy you use to finding eco-friendly travel options, we've got you covered. Stick around, and you might be surprised by how much you can reduce your carbon footprint, without giving up comfort or convenience. Get ready to take action and make a real difference today. Chapter 1. Unplug the grid. Cutting energy waste at home. Reducing your carbon footprint starts right at home. A simple yet effective way is to cut energy waste by making your home more energy efficient. Did you know that leaving electronics plugged in when they're not in use can waste up to 10% of your electricity bill? That's a lot of energy going to waste. Switching to energy-efficient appliances can also make a big difference. For instance, replacing just one incandescent bulb with an LED can save you about $75 over its lifetime. Another effective strategy is using a smart thermostat. According to the US Department of Energy, a smart thermostat can reduce heating and cooling bills by up to 10%. Even small changes like sealing up drafts in windows can cut energy loss by as much as 30%. On average, these energy-saving upgrades can reduce your carbon footprint by 1,000 pounds of CO2 annually. Chapter 2. Food for thought. Eat green. Live green. Sustainable eating is one of the fastest ways to lower your carbon footprint. According to the UN, food production contributes to about 25% of global greenhouse gas emissions. But eating sustainably doesn't just mean cutting down on meat. Local sourcing can drastically reduce emissions related to food transportation. For example, a truckload of strawberries grown 1,000 miles away releases up to 10 times more CO2 than local strawberries. Going organic isn't just good for the planet, but also for your health. Organic farming reduces carbon emissions by eliminating the need for synthetic pesticides and fertilizers. Composting is another easy step. By composting food scraps, you can keep more than 1.3 billion tons of waste out of landfills every year. Lastly, don't forget about portion sizes. According to a study by the National Institutes of Health, Americans waste nearly 40% of the food they buy. That's not only wasteful, but it contributes to unnecessary emissions. Chapter 3. Trash talk. Going beyond recycling. Recycling is important, but we need to go beyond just tossing our plastic bottles into the bin. The EPA reports that recycling alone can save 2,400 pounds of CO2 per year for an average household. But reducing waste starts before you recycle. Start by thinking about the products you buy and their packaging. Consider buying in bulk to cut down on excess plastic, and avoid products with multiple layers of packaging. Another game changer is composting. About 60% of household waste is compostable, yet only about 25% of us compost at home. This means a lot of organic matter is ending up in landfills, where it releases methane, a potent greenhouse gas. If everyone in the US composted, it could prevent around 18 million tons of CO2 from entering the atmosphere. Upcycling is another trend that's growing fast. Rather than throwing things away, get creative by turning old furniture or clothes into something new. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more practical ways to live sustainably. Chapter 4. Green your ride. Eco-friendly travel hacks. Transportation is one of the biggest contributors to carbon footprints. But there are many ways to make it greener. Electric vehicles, EVs, are gaining popularity, and for good reason. The average EV reduces CO2 emissions by 4,500 pounds per year compared to a gas-powered car. Even if you're not ready for an EV, carpooling can make a big difference. The average carpool saves over 500 pounds of CO2 emissions per month. Public transportation is another easy switch. Buses and trains emit 30 times less CO2 per passenger mile than cars. If biking or walking is an option, that's even better. Did you know that 1 mile of cycling saves around 0.6 pounds of CO2? Another interesting strategy is looking into eco-friendly travel apps, which can help you find the least carbon-intensive routes or transportation options when planning a trip. Chapter 5. Eco-chic. Fashion with a conscience. Fashion is a major environmental culprit, but there are plenty of ways to shop sustainably. The fashion industry is responsible for about 10% of global carbon emissions. But buying second-hand clothes is a great place to start. Every year, we throw away millions of tons of textiles, but buying second-hand could reduce this waste and lower emissions. A report by the Environmental Protection Agency found that reusing 1 ton of textiles prevents 5,000 pounds of CO2 from entering the atmosphere. Another option is swapping clothes with friends or participating in local clothing swaps. Going for quality over quantity is also key. Buy fewer, but better made pieces. Brands are starting to catch on too, with more companies launching eco-friendly lines made from organic or recycled materials. According to Fashion Revolution, the average consumer buys 60% more clothes than they did 15 years ago. But if we all make small changes, we can shift the entire industry toward a greener future. Chapter 6: The Green Thumb Revolution. Grow your own energy. What if your garden could help you lower your carbon footprint? It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Many people are starting to grow their own energy by investing in solar panels or small wind turbines. In fact, small solar systems can generate enough power to cut electricity bills by 40%, while a small wind turbine can offset up to 2.5 tons of CO2 emissions annually. But it doesn't stop there. You can also reduce your footprint by planting trees in your yard or even adding a green roof. Trees absorb CO2, helping to balance out emissions. On top of that, they provide natural cooling for your home, reducing the need for air conditioning and lowering energy use. If you're lucky enough to live in an area with access to geothermal energy, consider installing a geothermal heat pump system. These systems can reduce energy usage for heating and cooling by up to 70%. Getting involved in community energy projects, like solar cooperatives, is another option that allows you to pool resources for sustainable energy solutions. Thanks for watching. If you want more tips on how to live sustainably and reduce your carbon footprint, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more content.